Alright YouTube, so we've known for a while that Square Enix is open to remaking other Final Fantasy games in the same vein as Final Fantasy VII Remake. I couldn't find the source of this. I've talked about it on my channel before. I couldn't find the video. I don't think I did a specific video on it. I think it was kind of like a news roundup video, or maybe like just one interview somebody did. So it wasn't like necessarily in the title of the video. I don't know. I tried to look it up, but we talked about it before, about how they're open to remaking other Final Fantasy games, probably after Final Fantasy VII Remake. That video would have been like a year or two ago, so again, this aspect of this isn't actually new. We've known this for a while. But this is the first time we've heard anybody from Square Enix like specifically talk about a certain game getting remade. We have Yoshinori Kitase, who is a producer for FF7 Remake, but was also a director of the original FF7 and Final Fantasy VIII, doing an interview with the weekly Famitsu magazine, and they actually ask him about a Final Fantasy VIII Remake. To which he replies, if the youth that inherits the genes of Final Fantasy can step up and do it, then I like to see it made. For Final Fantasy VII Remake, the project started from my desire to make Final Fantasy VII with today's technology while I'm still here at Square Enix. So I'd like to see it, Final Fantasy VIII Remake, done by the youth of Square Enix. So I'm actually in agreement with this. I wouldn't be opposed to a Final Fantasy VIII Remake. I know we just got a remaster, but we've also had remasters of Final Fantasy VII and IX. I definitely wanted remakes of those games. I don't really have one that I prefer. I've never really thought about it, because 7's the one I've been wanting for a long time, right? Like, my favorite game, been wanting a remake of it for modern games for a long time, modern technology. So that's the one I was really focused on, and it's happening. So past that, I'm not really sure. I probably like 9 more than I do 8, so that's probably the one I'd pick. I know 6 is a very, very popular game. Surprisingly, it's one I've never played. I think it did come to PlayStation, if I'm not mistaken, but it was initially, I believe, on Super Nintendo, and I never had that growing up. Now, I'm not sure how popular 9 is amongst the community, but it's just a personal preference. I'm not saying it's the one that desperately needs to get remade over every other one. It's just one that I personally enjoy. It's one I grew up playing with one of my friends. I grew up playing 7, 8, and 10. Met one of my friends I've known for about half my life now or more. His favorite was 9. I'd never played it before. We got it, played through it a bunch of times. It's a game that I absolutely do love. I do like the world of Final Fantasy 9. I do like the progression system of it, with all the abilities and stuff you can learn from weapons and armors and accessories. And I do like the story. I like traveling from one planet to another. That shit was awesome. It's also important to take note, this interview, that they specifically asked him about Final Fantasy VIII Remake. So this wasn't like a question like, hey, which Final Fantasy do you want remade the most? And his answer was 8. They asked him specifically about the game. He gave his answer. He was the director for Final Fantasy VIII, so of course he'd love to see it remade. I'm not saying it's not the one he wants the most. It very well could be. I'm just pointing that out. Like, the question was specifically about this game. Anyways, kind of a short video. Pass off to you guys. What are your thoughts? What Final Fantasy game would you like to see remade the most? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. And once they've with more Final Fantasy Remake games news, turn on my notifications. Follow me on Twitter at @TheDashingDavid. I'm a Discord. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.